Evening.
Evening.
Today is
November
It's the
28th.
23rd.
28th.
28th. I don't know why I'm thinking it's the 23rd.
It is 28th
2020. I already said November.
of
2022.
there you go. Monday.
No, it's, isn't it like month, day, year?
I don't care.
No, it's day, month, year.
Okay. Monday, November 28th, 2022. Better? Okay. We're going to do our opening prayer. Akira, go ahead.
Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for us being here and being able to read your word, and hope that we can focus today. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. So you're gonna read out of that book. What is that book?
Uh, Advent and Christmas, Wisdom from G.K. Chesterton.
So we're on day 2.
Day
Day
2.
two.
Delightful bulbous heads. Is that how I say it?
Mm-hmm.
The fascination of children lies in this world. In this. That with each of them, all things are remade. And the universe is put again upon its trial. As we walk the streets and see below us those delightful bulbous heads, 3 times too big for the body, we ought always primarily to remember that within every one of these heads there is a new universe, as new as it was on the 7th day of creation.
What are you trying to say?
How are we on day 2? I don't remember.
Yesterday was day 1. You slept. Okay. Continue.
In each of those orbs, there's a new system of stars, new grass, new cities, and a new sea. The defendant. Little children. Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me, and do not stop them. For it is such as these that the kingdom of heaven belongs." And he laid his hands on them and went on his way. Matthew chapter 19, verses 14 and 15. We're saving the prayer for after.
Alright. I don't know
Uh,
I need the Bibles.
I put them on the
Table?
table, yeah.
Can you get me mine, please?
and mine.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it before I sat down.
Oh, my back hurts.
Your back hurt.
Yeah. I was vacuuming this Friday. Mom's Bible. What
Alright.
about the Jesus Calling?
We're not doing that right now.
What? It's so many interesting things.
I know, but we're not doing that right now because we're
What's in the book?
one of you kids.
Oh, we're doing it.
Yep.
How old is it?
I don't know. Okay.
Oh, man, sit down, look how shitty.
I'm gonna read the last chapter of Nahum, and then you can read Heaven. What?
Well, then you're gonna be able to sit down without having to stand.
Nahum. Habakkuk is right after Nahum.
Yes. Okay.
Up.
Woe to Nineveh. Nahum chapter 3. Woe to the city of blood, full of lies, full of plunder, never without victims. The crack of whips, the clatter of wheels, galloping horses, and jolting chariots. Charging cavalry, flashing swords, and glittering spears. Many casualties, piles of dead, bodies without number. People stumbling over corpses because all the wanton lust of a prostitute, alluring the mistress of sorceries, who enslaved nations by her prostitution and peoples by her witchcraft. I am against you, declares the Lord Almighty. I will lift your skirts over your face. I will show the nations your nakedness and the kingdoms your shame. I will pelt you with filth. I will treat you with contempt. I will make you a spectacle. All who see you will flee from you and say, excuse me, Nineveh is in ruins. Who will mourn for her? Where can I find anyone to comfort you? Are you better than Thebes, situated on the Nile, with her water around her? The waters was her defense, the waters her wall. Cush and Egypt were her boundless strength. Put and Libya were among her allies. Yet she was taken captive and went into exile. Her infants were dashed to pieces at every street corner. Lots were cast for her nobles, and her great men were put in chains. You too will become drunk. You will go into hiding and seek refuge from the enemy. All your fortresses are like fig trees with their first ripe fruit when they are shaken. The figs fall into the mouth of the eater. Look at your troops, they are all weaklings. The gates of your land are wide open to your enemies. Fire has consumed the bars of your gates. Draw water for the siege, strengthen your defenses. Work the clay, tread the mortar, repair the brickwork. There will be fire. The fire will consume you, the sword will cut you down, they will devour you like a swarm of locusts. Multiply like grasshoppers, multiply like locusts. You will have increased the number of your merchants till they are more numerous than the stars in the sky. But like locusts, they strip the land and fly away. Your guards are... No, it's fine. Your guards are like locusts, your officials like swarms of locusts that settle in the walls of the cold day. But when the sun appears, they fly away and no one knows where. King of Assyria, your shepherds slumber. Your nobles lie down to rest. Your people are scattered on the mountains with no one to gather them. Nothing can heal you, your wound is fatal. All who hear the news about you will clap their hands at your fall, for who has felt your endless cruelty? So that's the end of Nineveh.
One more chapter to
Maybe.
read.
That reminds me.
Oh my God.
The lady in the witchcraft stuff.
Mhm.
It mentions a lady on top of a beast with the 7 crowns and the 7 heads. The beast from hell.
Revelation.
Yeah, the beast with the mark of 6.
Okay.
Oh, isn't there like a
Because-
certain like demon number, like 666 or 343?
It's 6.
Yeah, but 666 is also demon. Yeah, because there's one lady that went on about how like the monster cans have the number 666. Like there's the one that in like Hebrews I think it was that little sign standed for 6, and then like the other ones also stand for 6 because they're not connected. She's like, it's because they're not connected. It's a demon a demon number. Because she had a whole poster board about it.
Anyways. So yeah, that was the end of Nineveh.
Give me my blankie.
The Lord is ready to smite everybody in Nineveh.
Nineveh's actually kind of close to Lot.
It doesn't matter where it is, but...
I guess I could just probably sleep in my room later.
Okay. Go ahead and read chapter 1 of Habakkuk.
Habakkuk chapter 1. the oracle that Habakkuk the prophet received. Habakkuk complained, "How long, O Lord, must I call for help? But you do not listen, or cry out to you violence, but you do not save. Why do you make me look at injustice? Why do you tolerate wrong? Destruction and violence are before me. Their strife and conflict abounds. Therefore, the law is paralyzed, and justice never prevails. The wicked hem in the righteous, so that justice is perverted." The Lord's answer: "Look at the nations and watch and be utterly amazed. For I am going to do something in your days that you would not believe, even if you were told. I am raising up the Babylonians, that ruthless and impetuous people who sweep across the whole earth to seize dwelling places not their own. They are feared and dreaded people. They are a law to themselves and promise their own labor. Their horses are swifter than leopards, fiercer than wolves at dusk. Their cavalry gallops headlong. Their horsemen come from afar. They fly like a vulture swooping in to devour. They all come bent on violence. Their hordes advance like a desert wind, and gather prisoners like sand. They deride kings and scoff at rulers. They laugh at all fortified cities. They build earthen ramps and capture them. They sweep past like the wind and go on. Guilty men whose strength is their God, whose own strength is their God."
So what is that one?
Habakkuk is complaining about the violence and everything else.
The violence and like the crimes.
And they the
Why do you love sitting with me? Because I have a blanket? You scare me at night. You know that? You jump in my face.
and then the Lord answered about nations, and he said, "All these nations are just wiping by."
They're like going to be demolished.
Yeah, the Babylonians. Don't you remember what happened to Jerusalem
Yeah.
from when the Babylonians swept through? They took down everything. They broke it all.
Hey, Kira, can you bring the tissues out here, please? Yeah. Cause I feel like I'm gonna sneeze.
They swept through, and then they upright went down with the walls, down with every building, make it all rubble. And they didn't just do it to Jerusalem. They did it to like all the people surrounding the Mediterranean Sea. Because Nebuchadnezzar went through and he took over Sidon, he took over Egypt, he took over Israel. No,
Isn't Egypt one of the main places that this
no,
was
he
placed
took over Judah, and Israel was already underneath Assyrian control, and they took over Assyria. So therefore, they have all this land. They also took over Greece.
So this is all basically based in the Israel area.
It's the Fertile Crescent.
Yeah. So like that little peninsula thing.
Fertile Crescent.
Yeah, I know what it is.
And then Egypt is a little farther away from Fertile Crescent.
I mean, not really.
They went up uh the coast of Egypt and stuff,
I know.
trying to sail.
I know. Because it's like in the ancient Egypt section that we read about. Because there was like the Assyrians, all those. There's
The
Nebuchadnezzar.
Canaanites.
Yeah, there's also Canaanites too.
And those were taken out by Dot. Okay. Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 12. Habakkuk's second complaint. O Lord, are you not from everlasting? My God, my Holy One, we will not die. O Lord, you have appointed them to execute judgment. O Rock, you have ordained them to punish. Your eyes are too pure to look on evil. You cannot tolerate wrong. Why then do you tolerate the treacherous? Why are you silent while the wicked swallow up those more righteous than themselves? You have made men like fish in the sea, like sea creatures that have no rule. The wicked foe pulls all of them up with hooks. He catches them until in his net. He gathers them up in his dragnet, and he so rejoices and is glad. Therefore he sacrifices to his net and burns incense to his dragnet. For by his net he lives in luxury and enjoys the choicest food. He is to keep the emptying. He is to keep on emptying his net, destroying nations without mercy.
We haven't changed. We forgot to change the title.
What's the title?
It was. I think it was first Advent. First.
Oh, it's
Sunday
fine.
Advent.
It's fine.
No, it said first week of Advent.
Yes. I think I put first week of Advent.
You put first week on Advent on the first slide, and then you put first Sunday of Advent on the chapter slide.
Yeah. It's fine.
I feel like I need to go outside and breathe some of the outside air. It's kind of stuffy in here.
It's only stuffy because your nose is stuffy. You just stuff.
No, I've only been sitting here, and whenever I sit down out here, there's something weird.
It's like
And
really.
whenever I lay down in my room, I literally cannot breathe.
Well, that's your room.
That's your.
You need to open your window.
I
Okay.
can't.
Okay.
It's frozen.
Okay. Let's finish up with prayer. You
Okay.
can do that, and then you can do
We
the
will close with
You can close now.
Jesus. You loved and welcomed them. You loved children and welcomed them to you. Help us find their qualities in ourselves, the wonder and openness, the light in living, and we will offer you thanks for the love you fill us with. May we too walk in the kingdom of heaven. Amen.
Amen.
As we go from here tonight, we will read Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 18, which is the armor of God. Finally, be strong in the Lord and the strength of his might. Put on the full armor of God so you can be able to stand firm against the schemes of the devil. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the powers, against the world forces of darkness, against the spiritual forces of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so you may resist the evil day, and having done everything, stand firm. Stand firm, therefore, having girded your loins with the truth and neck, and put on the breastplate of righteousness, and having charged feet with preparation of the gospel of peace. In addition to all, taking up the seal of faith, we're to be able to distinguish all the flaming missiles of evil, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. With all prayer and petition, pray at all times in the Spirit, and with this in view, be on the alert with all perseverance and petition for all the saints. Good night.
Good night.
Have a good night.
I can't touch a